Good morning, everyone. It's the first day of summer, and I'm going to do a quick market recap, and we're going to take a look at one particular annuity today. So let me share my screen here, and we'll take a look at what's going on in the markets today. You can see overall, here's the S&P is up about 2.5%. The Dow up 1.8%. The NASDAQ 3.2%. And yesterday was a bloodbath, which was the 20th. Today, we're getting a slight little rebound. One thing I wanted to talk about was the raw price of crude oil. It's at 111. And so let's take a quick look here at the past. And you can see there's our gas prices right there. And so they're going to work hard to get it back below $85 per barrel. All right, so watch that crude oil price, 111. We should not be that high. This is the 5-year chart. So you can see that for the most part, in that $50 to $75 a barrel range, up to $80 a barrel is the historic price. Okay, so that's one thing that we're going to keep an eye on inflation-wise. Now let's take a quick look at one particular annuity. Now, when we talk about annuities, you have to remember that every state regulates annuities differently. And so you may have slight changes based upon what state you're in. But in this case, it's the Delaware Life Target Growth 10. It's got a couple of interesting items. The first interesting item is that premium is flexible for the life of the product. What does that mean? It's not a one-time only. You can use this annuity and add to it monthly or annually, or if you have multiple rollovers, for example, you're 5 years away from retirement and you want to roll in an old 401k that maybe you have, and then when you retire, you could add to it with your current 401k, and you would not start a new surrender period. So in this case, I'm showing the 10-year surrender period. If you added to the new money in 5 years, all that money would be free and clear after 5 more years. So that's a very strong thing. Here's another thing that's really interesting about this product is that here are the current caps, although actually I believe that they've just updated it, and we'll take a look. The current cap on the S&P is 7.75%. What that means is during your contract year, if the market goes up 10%, you would get the first 7.75. If it goes up 20%, you'll still only get 7.75. If it goes up 6, you get all 6. But look at this column right here, bailout. If they ever have to offer you a renewal rate below 5.15, you can opt out of the contract if you want. So it gives you some rate protection. You don't even have to be in this particular index to get the rate protection. They've got some other indexes that have a very high history. And so you may not be in the S&P 500 with the cap, but if things tighten and they can't offer you at least 5.15%, you can leave the contract at any time. All right, so here's an example over here is that in California, you can see that they have a slightly lower minimum guaranteed rate. In every state, they guarantee that your contract is worth at least 110% of your deposit after 10 years. In California, it's only worth 109% after 9 years. All right. Same difference, but that's just an example of how states make companies give you something a little bit different. So let's go into my CFG database here. Here's the Delaware Life Target Growth 10. This is the Oregon version. You can see after the first year, you may withdraw 10%. It has a 10-year surrender period. So that means day 1 of year 11, you can leave with all the money if you want to and walk away. You can also walk away if the renewal rates on that S&P cap ever fall below 5.15. you can see here that on my database is updated every single day. And that rate sheet I showed you is probably updated monthly. So they are currently at a 7.75% cap. What that means is that you would get the first 7.75, but nothing above it. But that's a pretty good return, because you have to remember the reason you're using an annuity is that you have that no loss protection. You can also get 40% of the S&P. So that could give you a greater upside. So if it goes up 20%, you get 40% of the 20, which means you get an 8% credit. So just below 20% is the break even. If you had a 30% year, you'd get a 12% credit. So you might look at this after we had a bad year so that you might get more in a bounce back. But let's take a look at a couple of their others. They've got a 1-year First Trust Capital Strength that's run by Barclays. And you can see that over the last 10 years, it's averaged almost 9%. Right below it is the Global Opportunities by Morgan Stanley. Both of those credit 150% of whatever the index does. It's averaged 6.6 over the last 10 years. But look at their best 10 years. They go back 20 years and look at their best 10 years, 13.5 and 10.66. So you get near market returns over the long haul, and you have the no loss protection. And so let's take a look at how my database works here. I said that we had a person in Oregon, 65 years old. If you deposited 100,000 and you let it grow for 5 years or 5 years to age 70, and you wanted those withdrawals to last till 95. Oh, and in this case, we're going to say that we're in the most recent First Trust Global or First Trust Capital Strength. You could take out about 14,000 a year for the rest of your life, all the way to age 95. Now at 95, you're down to $34. That's all that's left. If you had a death at any point, your heirs would inherit whatever's left in your end of year account value. Okay. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. This is meant to be just a quick look at both the markets and one particular annuity. Make sure you press like. Just below today's movie is a link to my schedule if you'd like to talk. I work coast to coast. I start at 7 a.m. working on the Pacific time, working on the East Coast. And if you happen to be here in Oregon, you can meet personally with me. No matter where you are, you get to talk directly to me. You don't get some nameless, faceless person in a phone bank. So go to my schedule, press like, and also press subscribe. I'm going to do my best to get out a video much more often than I've been doing in the past. Thanks, and have a great day.